This new version of Copy Druid is actually pretty amazing right now, and you could be hitting easy legend with it if you know how to play it. So I'm gonna give you a quick guide about it, talk about mulligans, win rates, and general tips, so you guys know how to better position with and against this deck. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, a like and subscribe would be great. And don't forget you can check me out live on stream each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, where I do my best to show you the best new Hearthstone decks. But now, let's get into the guide.
You are not prepared!
Here's the list I used, and this deck does not have the craziest win rate right now, but it's definitely a fresh new Druid you could be trying that does include a couple of the new cards. It's sitting at around 55-ish% win rate from Diamond to Legend from after the mini set came out, but it's definitely not the easiest deck to pilot well, at least, so there's that too. If you actually know what you're doing with this one, I do believe the win rate should be much higher. What is this deck trying to do? It is a copy location Druid, so you are having the Scrapbook Student, you do have Lady Ashara as well as Zinajari, but contrary to other popular location decks, you actually don't care about the stats for the minions for the most part. Your usual OTK would be with the help of OWLONIUS, and getting yourself a couple of copies of this guy basically makes your Ebb and Flow deal 27 damage instead of 3, your Living Root starts dealing 26, your Swipe starts dealing 29, that kind of stuff, which is kinda insane. Even Press the Advantage is gonna be dealing 25 damage their way, so yeah, all around it does come down to just the spell damage, not the stats of the minions themselves. Or you could also go for the other route, copying yourself a bunch of Stargrazers and casting a single spell that is gonna give you up to 32 attack if you manage to copy everything, but usually 24 should also be great, especially if you gain all of that armor. So you could also just use this guy defensively for a couple of minions with 16 armor, 16 damage. That could be insane. Obviously, you could also be going for Lady Ashara to actually double up the stats of the minions you use, and what you could do is the first time you do place Zinajari and copy it with the Scrapbooking Student, you could just use a couple of the locations on this guy, and the second minion is gonna be a 10-10, the third a 20-20, the fourth, if you have one, a 40-40, which is absolutely insane, and that in some cases could be enough to win you the game, or at least prevent the opponent from concentrating on your face area. Going through the cards, we have a couple of innervates with which you are going to be doing things a lot sooner than you're supposed to, and it's also going to help you maybe combo off some OTK turns easier. Arcanite Revelations help you with the card cycle, and it could actually draw you a good spell you want to be casting earlier, like let's say New Heights. The Living Roots is great, you could be using it to control the opponent, you could also be using it for OTK. Don't be too concentrating on saving all of your face damage potential spells for the opponent's face, usually a couple is more than enough even against warriors if you position your locations right. Wave Shaping is also amazing, it's basically tracking with a little bit of extra benefit or negative effect depending on how you look at it, but if you do put yourself something like the Well of Eternity at the bottom of your deck, well, you're gonna be pretty happy about that. We have the new Acceleration Aura, which is just extra ramp for Druid, and as we guys know, Druid is addicted to ramp. Ebb and Flow is a great early game spell you could be controlling the board with and gaining a little bit of armor, but you can also concentrate on the face area with this thing, so again, this thing could deal 27 damage with only 3 OWLONIUSes, and I don't even know how much damage this is gonna deal with 4 OWLONIUSes, guys. Like, the amplification from OWLONIUS really starts becoming bonkers, because with 1, it deals 5 damage, with 2, yeah, I did a little quick math with Excel over here. Apparently, with 1 OWLONIUS, you gain +2 damage, with 2, it becomes 8 damage, with 3, 24, like I said, and with 4, it's 64 damage, meaning that basically your Living Root becomes 66, your Press the Advantage becomes 65, 67 out of Ebb and Flow, that kind of stuff. Really, really insane. But for that to happen, you really need to have a lot of room on the boards. Like, you literally need to have 3 copy locations and OWLONIUS times 4 for the 64 extra damage to happen, which is gonna be very rare for you, because a lot of times you're gonna have something like an Elise location in the way, or just a minion you can't kill off yourself into the opponent's stuff, but usually just 3 OWLONIUSes is gonna be more than enough. Anyway, where was I think Press the Advantage question mark, doesn't matter either way. With Press the Advantage, this is gonna be great early on to control some tokeny stuff, card draw, gain a little bit of armor, all around great to be having. The Story of Barnabas is pretty neat as well. The only card you could low roll with would be Elise as well as Nomalia actually, so those would not give you the 5 armor, which you're gonna desperately need against some matchups, but it still at least cycles your important minions, so there's that too. The New Heights is obviously insane. Swipe is gonna help you with the control of the early game board, so definitely don't be afraid to be using it. At least the Navigator can be awesome. Usually you're going to be going for, depending on what you need really, you could go for a 1 mana extra copy of a minion, but you can also go for 5 mana rushers, 5 mana discover a spell, 5 mana rushers plus 2 attack, or heck, even just gain armor. But going above 5 mana usually is not worth it. The Well of Eternity, you don't care about it at all. He's only in here because you can't play without it. It is a part of Lady Ashara after all. So always remove it from your mulligan, never discover it. Honestly, never even play it unless you literally have nothing else in your hands, and that's your Hail Mary, so to speak. Zinajari, on the other hand, is obviously amazing. You are gonna be using this mainly to go for your OTK, and again, you don't really need to be empowering it with Lady Ashara, but if you don't have anything better to do, if the Well of Eternity is already still in your deck, it's not a bad idea to actually destroy it for the sake of not top decking it at least. Midrasil is another amazing location you could be playing early on, and heck, you could even use your scrapping book students to get extra copies of it, but usually one extra copy of it is more than enough. You don't want to be going much more than that, because if you spend both your copy idiots, you're not gonna get enough OWLONIUS for a good chunk of damage later on, but in some cases that might be worth it. The extra card draw you get out of this, the extra cycle, the extra mana really does add up, so definitely don't sleep on at least one copy of a Midrasil, but 2 would be too much. Lady Ashara, like I said, only play her if you don't have anything better to do, and certain matchups it would be a nice way to tempo against opponents with doubled up stats. Like, you don't always need to be doubling up OWLONIUS or Stargazer or heck even Ziliax. You could be doing it for straight out Ashara, straight out the student. Nomelia could be interesting, that kind of stuff. The Scrapping Student, mainly in here so you can double up your Zinajari, but like I said, you could be doubling up a Midrasil, you could be doubling up Elise, that kind of stuff, and that could be amazing indeed. Nomelia is also pretty awesome in here. It's one of your few super good board wipes, and this is one of the main cards you should be positioning well with and against, so opponents can't actually cleave you. OWLONIUS, absolutely amazing. Doubling up all of that spell damage would be huge, and he is the only source of spell damage, by the way. Even if you have +1 or +2 spell damage out of Elise, that's only on the spell, so the spell's not even gonna get its damage doubled up, I'm pretty sure. I haven't tested it, but the spell damage from Elise itself does not give you extra cards from the toy chest, so I'm pretty sure OWLONIUS is not gonna affect her either. Do let me know in the comments if somebody's actually tested that out, but I'm pretty sure it shouldn't work. The Stargazer, it's a single copy in here, but again, could be an amazing way for you to actually handle some opponents, like if you're against aggressive decks, gaining all of that armor and taunts would be huge. And also, don't always try to win the same way with OWLONIUS. Sometimes you're gonna have to actually use all of your spell damaging spells for the sake of controlling the board, and Stargazer is a nice little plan too for you, with which you can handle some aggressive decks. And last but not least, we have Ziliax, which does have the Twin Plus Perfect module, so if you manage to curve into him, most aggressive decks are gonna flop. For the matchups, here's what we have. Things like Aura Pally apparently are not gonna be great for you, even though I think I had a pretty good time against one. Mid-range Shaman might be a little bit too quick, and Dragon Warrior would be pretty devastating apparently, but all around everything else does look pretty green, so you should be able to climb if you know what you're doing with this deck and play it long enough. For the mulligan, here's what we have. Obviously, New Heights is always going to be MVP. Holding on to Elise can be great. Wave Shaping, a Midrasil, especially if you're curving into it. Acceleration Aura is amazing, but don't always plop it on turn 2. Sometimes you want to wait a little. Arcanite Revelation could be nice. Story of Barnabas also pretty lit. Zinajari straight out keep can be nice. Press the Advantage is also decent, and Innervate if you have something to innervate into. If you're curving into Lady Ashara, that also might be worth it. On the coin, again, try to be holding on to the same stuff, and you should be winning more than you're losing. All around, that's it for this one. Not very cheap, that's for sure. 7 legendaries in here. Well, technically 6. Ziliax is still counted as 2. But all around, if you have the cards, definitely give this one a go and see if this is a deck you might be enjoying. Hope you enjoyed the guide, and if you did, a like and subscribe would be great. And don't forget, you can check me out live on stream each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. But now, let's check out some of my games on my road back to top 1000 legend with it. Hope you enjoy. Hope not too quick, warrior. Anton. Let's pay attention to that man's hands.
Let's hop to it.
It's a good hand if he's quest. Well, not swipe, but I have a feeling he's quest. I'ma toss it. When I really started to climbing to legend, I think I stopped getting as angry. When I first started, when I was yo-yoing in Diamond 5, God knows I was very angry, but I started to think a little bit more of a should have played better kind of concept. Now I get angry because I know I played better and still ate shit. It's that good old bell curve, you know? Now I know I played better and still it was fucked. No, Melia's kind of weird in this deck. Actually, she doesn't give armor. Yeah, always has been. This game it's gonna be important to do this nice and early. No reason to play Elise just yet, I'd say. That ain't rare.
I remember this place well.
Do I care to be rushing? Not really. God damn it, I didn't get the extra copy. Did not get the extra copy. They're all absolute shit. Even the +2 spell damage. Is the +2 spell damage even getting affected by OWLONIUS? Because the spell has it, whereas OWLONIUS doubles your spell damage. Because I know the plus spell damage on the spell doesn't affect things like treasure chests, so I'm pretty sure this shouldn't affect that either. I'll go with this crap, but it's dumb. It's not bad at all.
Blaze a trail.
Eat my dust.
Not gonna waste my Innervate for Acceleration Aura. We still don't have our important location, so what's the point of that? Yeah, classic mode wasn't really fun.
What shall I do?
Yes. Thing is, this spell could go face, but if we have our way with his body, shouldn't be too important. Zenajor is still missing an action. This is huge. I could have used it to cheat out stuff, but there you go. Let's just do one. I have easy way to poke.
So many Take a vacation! Take a vacation!
This was a fine turn, I'd say. If he clears this board, we refill it with OWLONIUS. We don't have too much damage because we kind of wasted a few right now, but it was a good chunk of damage as it was, so not the worst idea. And I could discover more out of this. Yeah. You don't know you're living in the good old days until it's not the good old days anymore. I mean, no, that was wrong, but you get it. Would be nice you know you're living in the good old days when you're living the good old days, more like it. But nostalgia just puts pink glasses on your eyes. Like, every meta had its problems. We just like to remember some not so bad times for the meta, you know? Time to fuck 'em. Is that even enough? I'm gonna have room for free, so... I'm gonna pretend it's enough. $27 damage? That ought to be enough, guys. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I think that's enough. I guess. Triple OWLONIUS, kinda insane like that. So you don't really need more than a couple of spells if you have 3. If you have 4, single is gonna be insane.
Versus Uther. I will fight with honor. Let's hop to it.
Sounds fine.
Job's done.
The light dims, but we fight.
Nice. 2 locations is better than none. Curving into means you have a 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, if you're curving into a 4-drop, that means you have 1, 2, 3. Or that you have 1 and 2 in the form of ramp-like acceleration aura, so you curve into a 4-drop. This is kind of fucky. Bit fucky in it. Speaking of fucky, this is also pretty fucky, but for him. And I don't care, it's not doubling, it's still a decent board in it. Next turn, no Melia clears. Maybe we should have done no Melia right now, because this is a potentially scary top that he just got. But as long as it's not exactly Gelben, I think we're pretty happy like this. No, it doesn't need to be, but to curve into something from the mulligan, you need to curve into like that. If it's a 2-drop, a 1-mana card curves you into it. If we're talking from mulligan, you could say we're curving into... I don't know, what are we curving into? I don't know anymore, but I think you get the picture. It basically means you're not gonna be not having anything to do for the next turn or the next few turns, depending on what you say you're curving into. The cool thing about this deck is it really doesn't care about Lady Ashara as much, like you really don't care about copying. Oh, thanks for the room, bud. Appreciate. If I copy this turn, I get to kill him with the OWLONIUS damage next turn. Yeah. He is gonna kill this, surely, so I will be able to do even more damage this time, for real, for real. Good luck, everybody. Gelben me, dude. He doesn't get Divine Shield on Hero, right? Doesn't give me room. Still, if my math is correct, this is 27 exactly. Mathing, guys. I didn't math that, I just remembered. We saw 27 last game. Not gonna lie for a second, Jack. I literally just remembered we had exactly 27 last time this way. Is it? It's not as amazing as it used to be. Sitting at about 53-ish, 4% win rate, something like that. Jon Snow. Jon Snow's arch nemesis, he knows everything. He knows things and he drinks, I guess. Well, I mean, that's what they're supposed to be doing. I'd rather just grab Elise. Innervate for ramp doesn't ramp me into anything. We might have to copy Elise location if it's decent.
Reporting for duty.
Acceleration aura. Didn't you, Bear?
I remember this place well.
Let's keep that cycle going. That's kind of piss. I guess the spell damage still could be fine for a big ass swipe or some. All those swipes at the bottom. The others are kind of horrendous. I'll go for the spell damage. We are discovering a spell out of it after all. Not getting the copy 2 games in a row out of it feels kind of dumb. If I get the copy, I don't even need Zinajari. I can just copy the copy. Still rather do this. This does give me the swipe. Nice spell damage on it.
Blaze a trail.
Yo. At least he's trading. Good man. New shites. That Ember. Knowing what we know now, I guess ramping ain't the worst. Let's ramp a lot. The only point for me to play Lady Ashara here would be just for the sake of not top decking Will of Eternity. That's mildly annoying. How dare you? I don't want to find a way to poke. There's a way to poke. Guild in time. There's the location. You know what? Let's tempo the hell out of him.
A true queen defends her people.
Could have the dragon, but who cares? We're full health, everything is right in the world. And we have no Melia. If we had OWLONIUS already, I would have just scrapping book the other location, but since we don't, I won't. Next turn we have a good shot at it. 1 and 3. If there is a next turn, actually. Because this guy should have been slamming that dragon harder than I was slamming his mother last night. And he ruined it. Like I ruined his ass mother last night. I botched that, but I ruined that too, I guess. Comedy. Comedy, am I right? Still do that. There he is. There he be. Well, new objective. Fuck him. I'm never dead. Question is, have I really lived?
Time is running out.
I really don't need to do much here, guys. Like, I really don't. I can literally just gain a shit ton of armor and next turn still deal a gajillion damage. This would be 26, this would be 28. Be a damn shame if he gives his hero Divine Shield right about now. Be low-key unfair. Frank Brock. Psych. There's something really pleasant about this deck. I don't know why. How diversified. Noski. See, this guy might be the dragon kind. Wondering how we're gonna fare against that. With a hand like this, I think we should be hella good. So I don't even care if he's quest or not. No point in me paying attention to his hand hoverings, but if he doesn't hover this card, usually it means it's quest. Because why would you read your quest? You already know what the quest does, and you're not mulliganing it away. Kept everything. That's kind of sick. Wouldn't mind being slightly off curve here. Okay, that's gonna be 2 damage in it. I think I'd rather actually kill it instead of playing the Acceleration Aura right now. Next turn we New Heights, turn after we Midrisil. Then we could start thinking about the Aura. Because a 3-2 on curve, if he has the 1-4, becomes a big problem real fast.
Proportions look good.
No location, come on. Be a dude. Sad. Sad dude noises. That's gonna be 0 to 60 real freaking fast. Well, shit. He has the cards, guys. He's in possession of the cards. He is gonna be a gamer. At least that was a slow turn, but who cares when you have a fucking 7-7 on turn fucking 3? At least might be the way to go. Next trying to get the Elise plus Acceleration Aura, but if I do that, aren't I just dead? Maybe Story of Barnabas plus Elise.
What pretty petals!
At least it ain't the 6/9. Nice.
Welcome to the end.
Puts it in range of potential free damage off the top. The ebb and flow, sadly, one's at the bottom. That's only if this thing doesn't buff it, obviously, but let's see. Well, the other thing... yeah, buffed it a lot. We did get the ebb and flow, actually, but doesn't matter. Really hope this doesn't give no Melia, because if it does, it's over. I ain't dead, but I ain't alive either. Even if I go at least for 5 mana location, what's that gonna do? It's not like I get to play it next turn and feel good about it. Acceleration Aura gives me potential Ziliax vibes. Let's do that then.
Time is running out. Eat my dust. Load it up.
Ziliax me, dude. We know it's not at the bottom, so odds are about 8% or something. Wait, what am I even talking about, dude? That doesn't give me enough unless this literally draws me Innervate plus Ziliax. There is a chance, guys. Believe it or not, there is a chance. Don't you dare get charged. Believe it or not, he got charged. God damn it, son. That would have been super epic if we actually copied the goddamn Zinajari.